Money. Look at Nike. Look at it dragging. It's a Dow stock and it's dragging the Dow. Right now, Nike is down 4.3%. Its sales in North America were disappointing. That's according to the analysts. David Nicholas Wealth Management President, is with us. David, is this a case of the analysts' expectations not quite met, therefore you sell this thing and down it goes? Is that what's going on here?
Stuart, I think you're right. Yeah, I think this has to do with just too lofty expectations by analysts, but the company's doing just fine. I mean, they were right in line with the earnings. Earnings per share 68 cents, revenues of $9.6 billion. So overall, the company's doing fine. And also, Nike has met or beat expectations 5 quarters in a row. So it's been on a good run. But I will say that there was some weakness in China, Europe, here at home. I think analysts believe that Nike was going to fill the gap that Adidas had with supply issues. We didn't see that. So while we don't own the stock, I refuse to buy Nike products anymore. I think as an investor, the stock's going to do just fine.
Why don't you buy Nike products anymore?
Well, Stuart, I'll tell you what they did with promoting Kaepernick. I don't want 1 cent of my hard-earned money to go to a company like Nike that chooses to promote individuals like Kaepernick who choose to disrespect our flag and choose to disrespect all the good that our flag stands for. So no, I don't want to support that company anymore. And I think what they did was divisive, and I think that hurt a big part of their customer base, me included.
All right. I want you to listen to what President Trump told Maria Bartiromo about the Federal Reserve and growth. Roll tape, please.
And look, I hope I didn't influence, frankly, but it doesn't matter. I don't care if I influenced or not. One thing I was right. But we would have been over 4 if they didn't do all of the interest rate hikes. And they tightened. I mean, they did $50 billion a month. I said, what are we doing here?
Look, he said 4% growth if it not been for the Federal Reserve. What do you say?
Stuart, I share the president's frustration with the Fed. I mean, it's hard not to attack the Fed when they have no clear and consistent message. A few months ago, they said that they were going to have multiple rate hikes in 2019. Now they've pulled back on that. But, I mean, the president's saying that the Fed is responsible for getting rid of 1% of GDP growth. I mean, that's giving the Fed quite a bit of credit. The Fed is not the primary driver of economic growth. So I share the frustration. I wouldn't give the Fed that much credit on the reason why we haven't seen GDP growth. But if you look at what the Feds did in the fourth quarter with his speech, Jerome Powell's speech on October 3rd, that, I think, did a lot to damage fourth quarter GDP growth with confidence in the overall economy. So I don't think we've seen the results of how damaging that was for the fourth quarter.
All right, David, look, thanks very much for being with us on a Friday morning. Always appreciate it, and we'll see you again soon.